Okay, so once you've logged in, you'll be greeted by the dashboard, and the left-hand side is our main navigation. We're using something called the Enfold framework, which is a little bit different to what you may have worked with in the past. So the way that works is when you go to a page and either create a new page or edit an existing one, you can see that there's an option for an advanced layout editor. So if we edit the About page, by default on a created page, it will default to the advanced editor. But if you log in and you're seeing something that looks a little bit like this, then all you need to do is click this advanced layout editor button, and that'll open up the framework editor. From there, it's pretty easy. Any existing content you just click into, and you'll be able to make the update, save, and then update the page, which you do over here on the right hand side. So I've got a little window covering my publish button. Okay, let's just try to get to that. Rightio. So this update button here. If you're creating a new page, then click on Add New. Choose the Advanced Layout Editor. And then you have two options. You can either create a page from scratch. To do that, you will build out the layout elements. In this case, we may be replicating the About Us page. You pull down those layout elements, and what these do is just create a mobile responsive framework for your page. And then you'll click over to the second tab, which is Content Elements, and then pull the elements in that you want to appear in each of those sections. So in this case, pull over a special heading and a text block. Maybe you want to pull in some media elements, like an image. And then you click into each of those content blocks and make the updates that you want. So with an image, you either upload a file or choose from the media library. And just pay attention when you're doing images over here on the right hand side. This is the size that attachment will be placed into the page. So for this one, we don't need it to be super wide, but if you insert a small image into a large space, it'll be pixelated. So we'll choose this as a thumbnail, insert it, save, and then we'll just have a look at what that page looks like. So we haven't given it a title yet. Okay, so it's inserted that image as a thumbnail, but if we put that into, say, a background, then that image will look very pixelated. So let's click back into it. We'll just insert the same image, but over here on the right hand side, rather than making it a thumbnail, we'll make it full size or large. What that will do is make the image as large as it can be as contained within this layout box. Okay, so we save the draft now. We'll go back to the preview page, and there you see. Okay, so let's keep building up the page. So with these layout elements, you've got a full width layout element or a color section, and I always recommend using a color section because one of the fun things you can do with a color section is apply a background. So most of your pages have a background image applied to a color section at the top. And the important thing to remember with those is that in the section layout, you need to assign the height that color section is going to be. So we want to be at least half of the width, height of the browser window, and then you can go through and just kind of put any of the minor settings at what you may want for that page. For a background section like this, it's not that important. If you are using a color section as a header like that, you need to make sure that the background repeat is set to stretch to fit, like that. And then for an image like this, we probably want it to be aligned center center. Okay, for text-based stuff, it's very straightforward. All you need to do is update the text. The heading style is generally the default style. However, if you want to lose the line that appears over here on the right hand side, just select a modern style, and that will pull that that line that appears by default on the right hand side off that heading style. But we'll keep it there for the moment. Okay, so once you've got a section looking the way that you want, put your little content in there. You can duplicate it by clicking this icon here, and then just swap the information out. So we'll get a different image, make sure it's big enough, insert that. Now this is something that you need to be aware of. So you'll see here on the left hand side, this image is a particular shape. Unless you choose that same dimension, then your images won't line up. So I think we chose featured large on the last one. Yep, there we go. No. Oh well. Anyway, you get the idea. Just make sure that you select the same image size for both images if they're going side by side, and they'll line up okay. Alternatively, you just use images that are already cropped and resized to the size that you want. Okay. Now, fun fact. Once you've got a page layout that you like, come over here to templates, and you can save that entry as a template. So this one we'll call test. We'll save it, and the next time we add a new page, rather than going through and doing all that kind of layout building, once we've selected the advanced layout editor, we can go over here to templates, click on test, and that will load that page layout. So with the existing pages, once you've got them perfect and you've got a layout that you want to use again, then my advice is just to save it as a template, and then if you create a new page, you'll be able to create that layout again very quickly. Okay, so that's page content. Now let's go over to products. Okay, you'll see that we've got two products set up there. We'll just go into the editor, and for these, for products, we don't use the advanced layout editor. So you want to be seeing this button as it says advanced layout editor. And then you scroll down, and this is the area where you're updating the attributes of the product. And importantly, over on the right hand side, this is where we have the product image and the product gallery. So when you create a new product, by default you need to set the product image. The image needs to be uploaded. Change to this one. And once you've started once you've made all the changes that you want to, then you just update. Okay, very important over here on the right hand side that MCT oil powder is selected as a category. What that means is that it will show up on the shop page. So that's all pretty straightforward. If you want to quickly get to a page that you want to edit, when you're logged in, you'll see this black bar across the top. And what that allows you to do is just to go to any page on the site and click Edit Page up here. So when you're logged in, you've got this admin menu. If we want to update the shop page, we'll click Edit Page. And here you'll see that we have our color section header, and the products are managed by a product grid, which means that you can't actually see the products themselves. But what we're doing here is just displaying every single product that is in the MCT oil powder category. Okay, so you can change the number of columns. If you begin selling more than one product, and then there's a whole bunch of settings that you can muck around with, but honestly I think the way that it's set up is just fine. Okay, so that should be enough to keep you going in the immediate term. The only other thing that I'll cover is the user settings. So if you need to add a new editor to the site, come over here. We'll get rid of Laurie. Laurie's just set up by default. And we'll add your username. So we'll add you guys. Make it master. Actually, just for privacy, okay, so we'll set you up there. So that's your username or that email, and the password Australia1988. And I'll send those details through to you now. Good luck, enjoy.